Hello, I'm Dr. Levon Hairapetian, a business professor at Houston Baptist University. In this short video tutorial, I will demonstrate how we can implement simple random sampling in Excel. So, let me just remind you the most important property of simple sampling, random sampling, and that is, in this method, every element in the population should have exactly the same chance of being selected for the sample. So everybody should have the same chance. That's the essence of simple random sampling. In order to implement random samplings, not only simple but other random samplings as well, we need to have some way of generating random numbers. And Excel has several functions for generating random numbers. The one which we will use is called rand between, and I will demonstrate how this function works. So what I'll do, let us generate a random passing grade in this class. As you remember, the random passing grade, the passing grades should be between 600 and 1000 points in order to pass the class. So let me generate a random number between these two numbers. So the function is rand between, and you specify two endpoints, this and this. So this is a random passing point number between 600 and 1000. If you hit F9 key, this number will change because each time when you hit F9, that means you are recalculating or asking Excel to recalculate all formulas. And as you see, we have a formula behind in this cell. So this formula will be recalculated and new random number will be generated. If I want to generate random passing points in this entire range, I will copy this formula down, but before copying, I have to make this G3 and G4, which are these two references, absolute. And so remember, you can make it absolute by hitting F4, or you can just manually type $signs. So now I have in absolute references this G3 and G4. Therefore, I can copy this across, and then I can copy this down. So what I did, I generated lots of random passing points in this class. And if I hit F9 key, all these numbers will be, you'll see, get the new set of numbers because all formulas will be recalculated. Therefore, all new numbers will be generated. This is the function rand between function, which I will use to implement simple random sampling for a simple example. Let me switch to the next tab. Here I prepared a list of 24 hypothetical students in my class. And what I want to do is I want to use simple random sampling to select 6 out of these 24 students. So in order to do that, the way we will do is we will use rand between function to generate a random number between 1 and 24, and whichever number is generated, for example, if 5 is generated, that means this Karen packet should be selected. If 2 is selected, then page 10 should be selected, which means we will generate random number which will tell us the location of the students in the list which we need to select. This is how I will do it. So it will be equals rand between, and first we'll specify, so it will be random number between 1 and 24. Random 1 and 24. So I generated random number. So the first student which is selected is student number 6, or it's better to say student which is located in the list it's sixth in the list, which is Patrick Song. Now let me copy this. Since I want to select 6 students, I will copy this down. Now I have these 6 students are randomly selected. So 17, this is Neil. Number 2, Paige. Number 11, Francis, and so on. So this was as simple as that, just to generate a random number between 1 and 24, and then select the student, which location is defined by that random number. We could stop in here because the selection is done, but there is it will be very inconvenient if we just try to look at the number and then go check the list and then visually select who is the person. It will be much nicer if Excel can do it for us, especially when you hit F9 and new random numbers are generated, then new list should be generated. And luckily, Excel has a nice function called index. So in this function, the first argument of this function is the range or array from where selection will be made. So we want to select name, which means element from this list, from this array, comma. Second, we should select which element, the location of the element in this list. Remember, we randomly generated, and the first one was whichever number is in here, that is the location. That's why I'll just click this, and that's it. So now you can check that number 12, which was selected, is Sandy Rayner, and it is Sandy Rayner. If you hit F9, now number 1 was selected as Christina Chung, and you can see the name pops up correctly in here. If I want to copy this down and be able to specify names of the selected students, then first I have to make sure that my range of names stays the same for all sample elements. And in order to do that, I have to make this range absolute. That's why I will do, and then hit F4. Now it is in absolute references. Therefore, I can copy down. One thing which you can notice in here is, so number 17, Neil Lawrence, was selected twice. And the reason is the way we implemented this is sampling with substitution. With substitution, remember, is when you select an element from the frame and then you put the element back and the same element can be selected again. So in this case, that's what happened. So Neil was selected twice. So this simple random sampling, the way it was implemented here, is with replacement. Hit F9, oops, F9, and new sets are here, and so on. So this is how simple random sampling can be implemented. So no wonder why it's called simple, because it was really simple. What we did in summary, we used a rand between function to generate a random number between 1 and 24. Why between 1 and 24? Because we have my range of data names is, I have 24 names. So if I were to have 100, then my rand between should have been 1 from 1 to 100. That function was copied down, and I selected, basically we generated locations of elements in the sample. Now, if we want to see the names of elements, then we used another feature of Excel, index function, which allows to select an element from the range based on its location. This concludes my short video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.